everyone, this is Direwolf20, and welcome to episode 22 of Forgecraft, where I'm hanging out. Let's see, do I have any upgrades in this guy? No, but I should, shouldn't I? I should. I am doing okay with antimatter and things, but I could be doing better. My main problem is I don't have enough fuel at this point. That would be the main problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to toggle this thing back on, so that he starts making plutonium again, which is going to be a good time, right? So previously on Forgecraft, Dyer was creating lots of power with fissile fuel, and it's creating nuclear waste, which hilariously we're more interested in the nuclear waste than we are the fissile fuel or the power, right? Like, I don't care about the power. I was practically avoiding the power. I want this cool nuclear waste stuff because it turns into two things. It turns into polonium, which can be used to make antimatter, and it can also be turned into plutonium, which is cool, which can be used to make plutonium pellets. So I'm cooking that thing on for now, and you might be wondering why. The main problem we're running into at this point is having enough fissile fuel, because right now we only make it with uranium, right? So we look at the fissile fuel, we can see that it comes from uranium hexafluoride into fissile fuel. However, there's another way to make it. We can turn reprocessed fissile fragments into fissile fuel, and we get 4 of those per plutonium pellet, which is actually a lot. All we need to do is set up some kind of hydrogen chloride going thingy. Now, luckily, I've already started the process a little bit, because hydrogen chloride is made with hydrogen and chlorine is made in an electrolytic separator with brine. So I've already got that going from last episode, so now I am getting my chlorine here with the brine, and I've got a chlorine tank, and I've got a sodium tank, which is voiding excess, so that we can get all kinds of chlorine. So now what I want to do is configure you, so I want you to dump out to the right, and that should be cool. Nice. So now I just need hydrogen, which is going to need another electrolytic separator, which should be fun times. Right? And then while we're looking at mechanism, let's get more of these dudes. So 32 energy upgrades and 32 speed upgrades. Now, it's been a while since I've been on the server, but everything seems to be working still, which is always nice. And then there's my electrolytic separator, and we want hydrogen to dump in from the left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my mechanical pipes here. Cool, and hopefully you're dumping hydrogen. Yes, you are. Beautiful. Okay, cool. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Now you guys are also going to both need power, which I think a little bit of precision mode true. So let's get some universal cabling going here. You can cover up that dude. There we go. Nice. And now I'm going to want 1, 2 of you and 1, 2 of you. To do these guys with. Cool. All right. So he's going to rapidly, we're going to dump excess oxygen here. We're not going to need it for the time being. He will rapidly fill up with hydrogen, and everybody's doing their job, which is actually, they're doing a really nice job. What can I say? Look at how good they did. Good job, everybody. It's exactly what I wanted to see. So now let's come over here. Let's get a couple more quantum doohickeys. Good, we have plenty of them. So we've got plutonium pellets, right? Now, what's this thing? A pressurized tube? He's dumping this stuff, right? Which is cool. Yeah, that's why you were that. Okay. So we're probably going to extract the plutonium pellets out of here, right? And we're going to put them into a chemical injection chamber. Cool. Chemical injection chamber. Chemical injection chamber. Do I not have that on autocraft? I may not. I may not. So many mechanism things this series, but we're checking out all the new things in mechanism. And so far I've been having a lot of fun setting up automations with it all. Because there's like a lot to automate, right? Which is cool, which is what I like. I like having a lot of things I need to do. That sound fun? Alright, so you guys should all be auto-crafting for me nice and quick. Okay, there's our chemical injection chamber. So you're going to inject... Whee! That was a high jump. We're going to need some power here. This is really going to get messy super quick. In terms of, like, stuff and things. But I have an idea. Actually, I can inject out of the bottom here. How's that sound? Yeah, I like that plan. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Chemical injection chamber here. We're going to get 2 quantum dudes. Right? And what we're going to do is we're going to set you down here, and you're going to be a new private channel, DW20. We're going to call it hydrogen chloride. Hydrochlor. Sound cool? And you are going to be a gases input on all sides. So it's filling up an internal buffer somewhere. And then over here, we will have you doing a private DW20 hydrogen chloride set. You are going to do gases out on all sides with auto eject on. And you got your hydrogen chloride. Beautiful. Because your gases can inject every side. Perfect. Then we're going to also want items to input from the bottom, and you're going to do items output out the bottom with auto eject on. Cool. And we're gonna do ultimate logistical transporters here, here, and here. And that should mean that you get the plutonium pellets, which is cool. Which is cool because it's already working. Is it a little dire wiry? Yes. Did you expect anything else? Gosh, I hope not. Okay? So you're doing the thing, chemical injection chamber, and that should be making reprocessed fissile fragments, right? Now you're going to output to the left here, and you're going to do chemical oxidizer right here. Cool. I like this. I like this. This is fun. And this should be a really cool way to kind of recycle our stuff, right? So that would be you, sir. So on the right, you should be inputting items. Perfect. And then for gases, it should be output on the left, and we will have pressurized tubes going up to this tube. Right? And then he should be inputting on that side. So if I put a pressurized tube here, he's not going to do anything, right? But you're going to do your thing. Because the goal for me is to make lots of antimatter, right? So I needed a way to kind of have more renewable fissile fuel, which sounds like a bad idea, and probably is. Okay, so now what you should be doing is pretty cool. Beautiful. And then you're coming over here and getting all the things. And he should be getting a big burst of it, right? Every so often, he gets a big burst of fissile fuel. And it goes up like by 2 millibuckets. Seems pretty cool to me. Seems like it's working. This guy needs to be faster, though. And I'm going to snag some gas upgrades here just to see if they will work on this. Not that it, like, super matters, because we're getting, like, a bajillion, infinity, million amount of hydrogen chloride, but a few gas upgrades wouldn't go awry. And some speed and energy upgrades would also be cool, too. Right, so now you're going to process a little bit quicker. And then we totally need the faster stuff here, which I presume you're not going to care about the gas upgrades, right? This probably won't do nothing with gas. I wouldn't think so. But it's always worth a try. Right? So now you are going to make our fissile fuel a lot quicker. That is cool beans. Now all we need to do is automate fluorite dust into this thing, and we should be in a much better position. That'll be cool. That'll be cool. How do we want to get fluorite into him? Another quantum entangloper? Oh, if you insist. If you insist. Well, we want to be careful about where we put this dude. I'm gonna put him here, and then we can configure his sidedness. All things off, right? That's what I'd love to see. I don't want there to be any chance that nuclear waste is going to go into him somehow, because that would be a bad time, right? You don't do anything, Saw. Eject and interact with nothing. But you will output to the left items. And you... items... well... yes. Input on all sides. Except for the bottom, which is outputting the thing. Right? And your private will be DW20 fluorite. Which I know I'm spelling that wrong. DW20 fluorite. So now all we needs is probably so you'll get items in on the top, and I'm going to gray all the things. Cool. So your items will be input on the top. We're going to get an exporter. Now, we know how to make fluorite dust, so we're going to want a crafting card for this. Okay? So that it'll automatically craft all the things we needed to craft. Right? So your private DW20 fluorite, right? Get me my exporter. We're going to get some of you. Get you. And then cable it up. Now if we come over here, we should see this guy behaving himself. Whew, that's fast. Yeah? Working? Looks like we have more than we did a second ago, right? Yes, it's working. Beautiful. Beautiful. And I don't need any kind of speed upgrades because there's like no way that this thing's going to process fluorite faster than we use it based on our current amount of plutonium. So what's happening is we are now splitting our nuclear waste. Some of it is going towards here to make more nuclear fuel, and other bits of it are going here to make antimatter. Very, 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 very slowly. All right. So, just saying. Just saying. We will get antimatter eventually. Eventually. I'm going to let this oh yeah, 16 is predicting a nuclear disaster. That will probably happen. I mean, so far so good. I think this is actually a pretty well-designed system. I think it's a pretty well-designed system. We'll find out, though, in a few minutes. We'll come back. All right, be right back, guys. All right, so I was told to visit a box. This box over here. There's a really big box. It's a big stone box. I think Shy left it for me. No laser, please, says Shy. Dyer. Dear Dyer, please only break when recording for YouTube. Okay, Shy. I got you. Oh my goodness, what is in here? What is this thing? What is this place? This is cool. I like this. So So there's some glow flowers, some mycelium. Okay. I'm assuming I'm supposed to go up here. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of words. Hey, thank you to every single one of you reading through episode 20 comments has really made my week to something special. You all being so nice and supportive has made me cry from happiness. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you everyone. Thank you, Shy. That is very kind of you. Yeah, so, you know, Shy was in episode 20, and I think you guys were pretty awesome. And welcoming to Shy, as I expect from my YouTube audience, because you guys are, like I've said many times, one of the best audiences out there. So yeah, thank you guys for being the awesome and amazing and welcoming community that you guys are, because that's what you guys are. You guys are awesome. For reals, you guys are awesome. And I really do appreciate that. So thank you for welcoming Shy to the server and to the channel, and for being a guest star in one of the episodes. You guys really did kind of make her day, so thank you for that. Also, by the way, this thing's cruising, and it's doing exactly what I designed it to do, which I'm okay happy with. It's pretty good, right? Remember last episode, I think it was, like, we got it, once this thing gets filled up enough, it starts burning up some of the plutonium and does its antimatter reactions. It's still slow, though. It's still slow. I'm debating if I want to, like, bump this up or just kind of leave it for a bit. I'm leaning towards leave it for a bit. Leaning a little bit towards leave it for a bit. We've got a lot of fissile fuel happening here, which is cool. And I'm assuming we've probably by now processed most of our uranium. Yeah, we really did, didn't we? We really did. And, like, is all the uranium down here already processed? Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you need a lot of uranium. Like, a lot of uranium. I wonder if I should set up, like, ore quintupling, because I've got tripling up and running. But the ore quintupling process is usually a lot more infrastructure required. Right? So there's that. What about uranium ore? Is there like a good way to get some uranium ore from that stuff? Meh. We've got uranium essence, but that's like gonna be super slow. Tier 4 uranium seeds, even so, is gonna take a while to grow. So you get like one essence, 75% chance at getting one essence every 3 minutes. So I mean, I could have like a giant farm of those, but that doesn't sound fun either. Let me think about it. Hey YouTube audience, just FYI, pillagers came to visit. I don't know why. Apparently they think this is a village. Pillagers just kind of wandered over. They're like, hey Dyer, we wanted to see you. I mean, it's adorable. I really think you guys, you know, I appreciate you coming to visit, but it's very rude to walk into a person's house and just start shooting crossbows. Like, why do you think this is an acceptable thing to do, pillagers? This isn't a village. We ain't pillaging Dyer's house. We ain't pillaging Dyer's house. Look, they're up on there. How'd you get up there? What are you doing up there? Give me some bad omen, would you? Booyah! Bad omen it up. Should go visit a village now and get a raid going on. What are they even thinking, pillagers? No, no, no. Anyway, I wanted to check something out here. There's a thing I decided I wanted to get, and that would be 10 more crafters. And the reason I want 10 more crafters is I need more crafting time. So I want to take a break from Mechanism for a bit and play with another cool looking mod that I ain't never played with before. It's a little hard to control these things, I ain't gonna lie. No. Wrong. No. Wrong. These to be facing the right way, thank you. Ugh. Killing me. One of these days I'll figure out how this thing's decides what direction it's gonna face. One of these days, I'll figure out how it decides. And the lag doesn't help for sure. Anyway. Yay, more storage for crafting. I want to check out a new mod. I don't know that I've ever played with this before, but modular routers looks really cool. And I think I would like to see how this mod works. So I'm going to get, like, you know, some basics here. That would be that. Paper from Minecraft. Do we know how to make paper automatically yet? Not really, but we're going to find out. How about gold nuggets? We have gold nuggets, but we don't yet know how to make gold nuggets. So, you know. How do we do with our crafters here? Beautiful. Alright. So, modular routers looks like a cool thing. And I want to just play with it for an episode or two to kind of get a feel for how it works. Because it looks, for all intents and purposes, pretty cool. I saw it briefly in Soren's basement the other day. So I'd like to kind of see what it's about, you know, get a feel for it a little bit. So there's a book, luckily, which is cool. Is this a Patchouli book? It totally is. I need to look at using Patchouli, because I'm probably going to put that in that Dire Goo mod that I'm working on. This manual is a complete reference guide to modular routers. Cool. Introduction. Welcome to modular routers. Overview. Welcome to modular routers. This is a highly flexible mod for moving items around the world in various ways. With a single block, the item router, and one or more plug modules, you can pull items from any inventory, send them to other inventories near and far, place items as blocks, break blocks, drop items into the world, sort items, and much more. Think of it like a super configurable hopper on steroids. I like the sound of that. Doesn't that sound cool? I like it. So there's augments, are like upgrades, but they are inserted into a module rather than an item router. Okay, so modules. The text kind of goes off the screen here, and I don't know why that's super happening. But we'll read our way through it, right? Modules are inserted into an item router and tell the router what to do. There are 20 different module types, each of which has a specific function. All modules have some characteristics in common. All modules have 9 filter slots to control which items a module will process. Many modules have a defined direction relative to the router's facing. Some modules have extra settings for configuring module-specific functionality. All of this can be configured in the module's GUI, which you can access by right-clicking the module in hand. You can also configure an installed module in a router GUI by pressing C while hovering over it, or middle-clicking the module in the GUI without needing to remove it from the router. Module GUI. See the following pages in the description for each part of the GUI. GUI. There are 9 filter slots, which you can... Okay, that's cool. Wow, there's a lot of things going on here. Where you can insert ghost copies of any item or block. The module will only operate if the item in the router's buffer matches the item in the module. Okay. Most modules operate in a defined direction, so you can define those. Looks pretty complicated-ish, but we're getting there. The item router, I think, is the main central block of the routing system. So let's teach it how to make that. So that would be you, buddy. Oh, hello. Don't mind if I do. Probably teach you how to make them, but that's cool. Hey, do the thing. Hey, what are you doing? Laggy, laggy. Forgecraft server lag is still a thing, unfortunately. That's why Forgecraft exists. So we've got an item router, and we should probably have some chests so that we can play with these guys a little bit. You know what I'm going to do? Is I'm going to make them single chests. Come on. You can do it. There you go. Okay. So this is this dude. Alright. Item router. Router will always run at normal speed. If router is idle for more than 5 seconds, it will enter low power mode and only run every 5 seconds. It will leave low power mode upon processing any item and returning at normal speed. That's neat. Like that. Eco mode. Eco-friendly mods. I mean, that's legitimately a cool thing. It means rather than running so many processes, if you know this router is not going to do a lot and he's not going to need to run at a super high speed, turning on eco mode will be friendly for server TPS. So that's kind of cool. I like that. And then redstone mode controls whether it's, you know... That's neat. Always low, high, never, and pulsed. I always like when they add a pulsed option. That is super key. That is super key. All right. So that's neat. Okay. Every time a router ticks, let's see, by itself it does nothing other than serve as a one-slot inventory, which can be piped into and out of by hoppers and other mod piping systems. Okay. To do anything useful with a router, however, you need to install one or more up to 9 modules. Every time a router ticks once per second by default, it will execute every installed module in order. Each of these modules will operate on the item in the buffer or on the world around the router in a specific way. See the module section for more info on each router. The router's operation can also be modified with upgrades, speed it up, let it handle more items per tick, increase the range of certain modules, that kind of stuff. All right. Smart filters, upgrades. So there's a lot of modules, right? So that's all an introduction, right? So item router. Cool. So there's the buffer, that's this, right? Able to hold a stack of items. The module slots, which are these dudes, so those are the modules. Upgrade slots, all that's pretty self-explanatory, so I'm not going to read all that. Termination. Per module basis by the T button under the filter slots. By default, it's inactive. If you switch it on for a module, then if the module does any work, this router tick, the router will stop there. No further modules, i.e. to the right of this module, will be executed this time around. That does sound really super useful. That does sound like it would be cool. That does sound super cool. All right, so here's all the different modules. Wow, that's a lot of modules. Holy cow, that's a lot. Activator and breaker and detector and distributor and dropper and extruder modules. That sounds cool. Flinger module. I like the sound of that one. Placer, player, puller, sender, vacuum module, voider module. Let's try sending, because I want to do item routing. This module tries to send an item from the router's buffer to an inventory in the module's configured direction. The target inventory can be up to 8 blocks away, up to 16 with the range augments. The target inventory must be directly along the X, Y, or Z axis. The router must have clear line of sight to the target, no opaque blocks, but blocks like glass, fences, iron bars, etc. are okay. Chest blocks are not opaque, right? So, that sounds cool. That sounds cool. You want to try it out? Let's try it out. So we're going to want a modular router. I'm starting to see in my head how this mod works. I'm getting the idea of what it does, which is cool. Sender module, Mark 1. So that would be you, sir. Do you know how to make pistons already? You do. So let's do the sender module Mark 1. Just gonna get 2 of them. We're missing cobblestone? Shenanigans. Where's my thingy? That's a Geiger counter. That is not the thingy that I was thinking it was. Are we really that low on cobblestone? Let's just do this and we'll be cool. 2 sender modules, please. Alright, let's try this bad boy out, right? So I think what I might want to do, I'm going to put another chest. Like that. And that should be cool. Alright, so you're going to get a sender module. Now, if I want to interact with this module, I right-click it. Direction is going to be up. Blacklist, the module will not run if the filter matches, so an empty blacklist will always allow the module to run. We want an empty blacklist for now, we're not going to filter things, right? Ignore MBT, pretty standard, match any item in the filter may match for the filter to match. Use this under most circumstances. All items in the filter must match for the filter to match. Oh. Oh. Okay. That's kind of cool. Item damage match, tag matching. Oh, that's neat. So that's like any uranium ore, right? And then that's that continue execution mode versus terminate execution mode. Okay, that's neat. And then there's upgrades for the modules, I think, but we'll figure that out. So let's say we want to route cobblestone up. So we're going to whitelist cobblestone up, right? And then you're going to go here. And then let's say we want to blacklist cobblestone to the right. Right? So anything but cobblestone will go to the right. And what I'm going to do is remove this chest for a minute, just so we can see how this actually works. And you're going to go in there, sir. Cool. So now if I put some cobblestone in there... Ooh, hello. Did you see that? That was neat. Look at that go. Ooh, that's fancy. I like it. I like the fancy little bzzz. That's neat. That's super cool. Alright. I'm liking this. And then anything that's not cobblestone should theoretically go to the right. Pretty cool. I like it. I like it. That is nifty. That is super nifty. Okay. Okay. I'm on board with that. So now, what about upgrades? Because I presume that there are some upgrades we can do. Upgrades can be installed in an item router to enhance or modify its functionality. This upgrade makes the router fully immune to explosion. Alright. Camouflage. Allows you to disguise the router as another block. Ooh, that sounds nice. That sounds nice. This upgrade only affects the Fluid Mark 1 and 2 modules. It increases the overall fluid transfer rate of the item router in each direction in and out of the router, from the base rate of 50 millibuckets per tick by 10 millibuckets per tick up to a max of 400. Therefore, the maximum number of fluid upgrades in a router is 35. This upgrade can be used to suppress sounds and particle effects made by item routers and can be useful if a noisy module is regularly running in a place where a player often is. Fair enough. Security upgrade. Restrict players who can open the router's GUI. Speed upgrade runs every 20 ticks. AKA once a second. We put these in, it'll run faster. Each speed upgrade reduces the tick interval by 2 down to a minimum of every 2 ticks or every 10 times per second. That's neat. Cool. So stack upgrades will route a single item at a time. Example, a center module will send a single item to the router's buffer each router tick, regardless of how many items are in the buffer. But adding a stack upgrade makes it do a stack at a time. That makes sense. It doubles it, actually. Neat. Alright. And then sync upgrade is used to guarantee that 2 or more routers run at the same time. Oh, that's cool. The sync upgrade has a tuning value of 0 to 19, i.e. 1 less than the base router tick rate of 20. This tuning value can be set by right-clicking it. Okay, so that means if you want 2 routers to run at the same time, it forces and ensures that they run at the same time. That is kind of cool. That is kind of cool. It's not so much laser logistics pipes as it is like laser item ducts, I would say, but with like a dedicated range kind of deal. Would be the thing that I would call that. Okay, so then what's the point of the higher tier sender modules? But has more powerful inventory targeting capabilities. The target inventory can be up to 24 blocks away. Clear line of sight is not required. To select the target inventory, sneak right-click the target with the Sender Mark II module in hand. You will get a confirmation. That's cool. That's cool. And then a Sender Mark III, but can send to any inventory and any dimension with no restrictions. That is super cool. That is really neat. Okay. There's some really cool stuff in here, guys. Augments. Alright, can be installed in modules to enhance or extend their functionality. Smart filters are a group of item filters which can be placed in any module's filter slot instead of a normal item and provide more sophisticated item matching. That's cool. So you can really get super deep into filtering, it looks like. Because I see there's a regex filter, and that is hilarious to me. That is super cool. Any programmers out there excited for a regex filter? So a mod filter, probably pretty self-explanatory. Inspection filter allows for the matching of items by various miscellaneous integer properties of the item. Well, that's interesting. I bet you could do some really complex routing with this stuff. I'm just kind of now making sure that I've covered everything. Looks really cool. I want to check out what some of these other modules do too. Alright, real quick, I'm going to check out these speed upgrades just to kind of see how she looks, because they look cool. So if I put U6 in there, this should be a lot faster now. That's cool. I like it. I am pretty interested in this mod, I think. What are these things? Oh, pedestal stuff. Yeah, we'll check out pedestals too. But modular routers is where I'm at right now. So, how about we wrap up the episode, come back next time, and play a little bit more with this mod to check out some of the different modules that exist and some of the different upgrades, and it looks cool. Like, right now we're just doing item transfer, but there's clearly a lot of things it can do, right? Like, a lot of things it can do. And I'd like to know more. So let's play with this a little bit. Does that sound cool? I think that this can be a pretty powerful logistics style mod. At least for like not like a full logistics pipes style mod, but definitely some functionality that's like powerful sorting of items and fluids and other stuff. For now, Dog20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We'll come back next time and play with this nifty gadget. For now, take it easy.